differences between the 6 speakers.
Yeah, that's something I always see get thrown around in the comments quite a bit. YouTube compression this, YouTube compression that. You can hear quite a bit through the YouTube audio, believe me. And the reason you can hear so much of a difference between the 6 speakers is because the speaker is the single most important part of your guitar's signature. The guitar speaker is like the Millennium Falcon of your guitar parts. It's not glamorous, but boy, does it ever pack a punch.
You should do a video where you run an EQ Match plugin on the V30s to see if we can get our shitty ones to sound similar to the good ones. It would be interesting to see what the corrective curve looks like.
Tim, I've done it. I've done it with Ozone's Match EQ. And yeah, the curve is not pretty. It's pretty severe, to be honest with you. I've done some matches where I've taken some of the Hailstorm tracks and put them up against mine. And yeah, it gets pretty hilarious. It's a wonderful EQ. It really does the thing and gets you that kind of sound. The only problem is you can't play it through it in real time. You get like, you know, like a couple milliseconds of delay, and it just feels weird because you're hearing this sound come through so much later. Damn it! Here's one thing I've been asking iZotope to do to see if we can, you know, make that EQ curve and then print that into some kind of output that we can put into another equalizer that we can run in real time. I asked for that. I don't think we're going to get it anytime soon, but fingers crossed. If anybody knows any other great Match EQ plugins, please let me know. As far as I know, though, the Ozone one is definitely the most accurate. That's at least for the ones I've tried.
How about buying a bunch of new V30s from the same lot and measure the differences between them? Maybe we were talking about production tolerances.
Funny you should say that. I just ordered 4 of these things in from Sweetwater. They just came in today. And yes, they are still factory sealed. I think these are going to be about as close as I can get to having them from the same production line. That was another thing that came up is, if I order these things online, am I going to get the 2022 models? And that's where everybody's, you know, all the big retailers are like, oh, no, there's no differences. There's no differences. And I'm like, yeah, we can measure the differences. I talked to the Sweetwater guys and they said, well, their stock goes pretty quick, so there's a very good chance you got the new ones here. So I've got 4 I need to unbox. I'm definitely going to be checking this out, and I'm going to be doing a follow-up video and hopefully getting one of those amazing tones again and doing a whole bunch of impulse captures on it this time, because I'm still kicking myself up about how I screwed the last good one up with the tone tests.
Visual differences of dust caps, tone comparisons soloed and in the mix, spectrum analysis. This had to be the most laborious effort, but the results speak for themselves. Ill-informed claims towards Glenn can be aptly discarded. Good on you, Glenn. Well done.
Yeah, thanks very much, Nick. I really do appreciate that. And here's the thing. If somebody's going to call me ill-informed, yeah, you can expect me to call them out on that bullshit, that's for sure. I've got no problem doing the work to show exactly what I'm talking about. And if it means having to do scientific measurements to prove a point, I will absolutely do that. Better than, oh, just take my word for it. Because that's just, nobody learns anything that way.
Is the Vintage 30 worth the extra $50? I have a PV Shitfield cabinet with 4x12 with 170/80 and I want to replace the 3 remaining Shitfields. JVM 410H is the amp. I love some divine guidance on this. Yesterday I figured it was between A-type and B-type, and B-type was winning. But there's possibly a longer view here that if I'm much better off dumping dollars on a new set of Vintage 30s, I'd like to know. Other ruminations are, I wonder why there's any advantage to mixing Vintage 30s with B-types, maybe 2 in each in a 4x12. I'd save $100. I'd so appreciate being told what to do here, regardless of the ambiguities of individual tastes.
Well, there's no question that the Vintage 30 is super popular and is going to be a great choice. I think I got mine for about $160 each through Sweetwater, so there is that. A couple of really great choices, a couple of personal favorites of mine are the Celestion EVHs. They're basically the G12M greenbacks, but they're voiced to be more like a 60s greenback, and that's why they've got the Eddie Van Halen logo on them. Not, and do not confuse this with the EVH Iconic series made by Celestion, because those ones are not very good at all. Spend the extra money and get the actual EVH, the ones with the red badge. Those are spectacular. Other great speaker choices, of course, are the Hesu Demons. If you're thinking about upgrading your speakers, reach out to the Hesu guys. Those things are absolutely phenomenal. Can't go wrong with them at all. Some of my personal favorite speakers as of late. Just simply brilliant stuff. Good luck on your speaker search, man. It can be a lot of fun, and honestly, it's probably a little cheaper than buying pedals.
As a former employee of Oxford Speaker Corp and Harman International Manufacturing loudspeakers for 10 years, I can attest to Glenn's speaker theory. Adding weight to the motor assembly or the cone assembly does in fact change the speaker's characteristics and resonant frequency. Less weight equals a better transient response, more weight adds VAS, pretty much the volume air that you move. Treated cloth surrounds tend to sound more natural. Rubber and pressed foam sounds only just allow the cone to move more, thus moving more air, and IMHO doesn't sound near as good. Speaker is in fact the last in the signal chain and makes a huge impact on what you hear.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin James. It's very nice to get some feedback track from some people who actually work in the industry and to confirm that, yes, I am not, in fact, out of my mind. I've based my conclusions on 2 decades of making records here in the studio and going down the rabbit hole of going through all the forums and trying to glean what information I can and learning that most of it is complete and total nonsense and not based in any kind of reality whatsoever. Looking to improve your guitar sound, start with your speaker and work your way backwards.
It's awesome seeing such balance from you and your channel, Glenn. The humility and humbleness you showed through the whole constructive suggestions section of this video was super refreshing to see. Humans aren't really known for embracing much objectivity in our perceptions, so it's always nice to see come across someone, I don't know, fucking genuine. Cheers, buddy.
Back on the Celestion video. Thank you, Jeffrey. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, Mark Lewis chimed in with a couple of really good suggestions. Mark's a very good friend of the show. I've had him on here before, and his track record is impeccable. So when he's making suggestions on maybe how to do a better test, believe me, I listen. I got a lot of great advice on how to make better tests, so I'm going to keep doing better tests. If you guys have ideas on how I can make my tests better or what you'd like to see, I'm always open to suggestions. Please feel free to leave some comments below. I do make an effort to read every single one. Thanks.
Keep playing on camera, Glenn. I love seeing people having fun on guitar that aren't professional prodigies. It's like you're saying, hey, you can have fun too.
Hang on a second, man. Nobody's allowed to have fun playing guitar on the internet. You're supposed to be perfect all the time. That's the rules. At least as far as modern metal productions go, we all know modern metal is just absolutely amazing. It has to be, because they fixed everything. All right, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, I'm going to beg. Please, 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 for the love of Crom, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel and just helps me keep going. And besides, I really do love hearing from you guys, and hitting that subscribe button kind of makes my day just a little bit better.